Hey guys, Folded Legs here. Welcome back to the channel. Before we jump into today's video, do me a quick favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss a new upload. It only takes a second, but it helps us grow and keeps the community strong. Plus, it lets me know you're enjoying the content so I can keep bringing you even more. Alright, let's get started. Real quick before I start the video, for Halloween I made a new avatar. She won't be taking around much, but she's supposed to be my evil twin. Okay, anyways, let's go.
Let's fucking go. Get your spectral sock out, nerds. It's gonna get good.
Hey guys, Folded Legs here. So before we jump into this week's episode, yeah, there's gameplay in the background. It doesn't have anything to do with the video itself. It's just there so you don't have to stare at my face for 15 minutes while I emotionally spiral over anime again. Now that we've got that out of the way, welcome back to the Attack on Titan deep dive series. If you've been following along, you already know these aren't your average surface level reviews. Nope. These are long-form, emotionally charged, detail-packed explorations where we peel back every single layer this show throws at us. The fear, the trauma, the glory, and the absolute madness that is humanity's last stand behind the walls. And man, if you thought things were intense before, buckle up, because this is the stretch of the story where the series stops teasing and starts hurting. But before we go full throttle into that pain train, I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Which character hit you hardest in season 1 so far? Was it Eren and his raw obsession with freedom? Mikasa's quiet heartbreak? Or maybe, if you're like me, Sasha, my girl deserves all the love, food thief or not. She's the most relatable person in the entire series. I'm honestly curious to know who your emotional anchor is. The one you root for, cry for, or yell at the screen for. So yeah, grab a snack, get comfy, and let's dive in. We've got Titans to dissect, soldiers to mourn, and more emotional damage than a therapy session after midnight. Alright, that's enough stalling. Let's roll straight into this week's deep dive. Episode 13, Primal Desire, The Struggle for Trust, Part 9. The Battle of Trost finally ends. Smoke still rises from rooftops. The stench of blood is thick, and somehow, the wall still stands. Arn sits in the middle of the chaos, half conscious, steam curling off him like leftover barbecue, and surrounded by soldiers who can't decide whether to salute or shoot him. Mikasa won't budge from his side, blades out, eyes sharp, and her expression basically says, "Touch him and I'll turn this street into a blender." Honestly, same energy as when someone bumps my chair and then acts surprised I have feelings. Can't even blame her though. If my best friend had just turned into a skyscraper-sized rage monster and then passed out, I'd probably go full do not touch my emotional support Titan too. Armin, bless his traumatized little soul, is doing what he does best, trying to logic his way through a mob of trigger-happy soldiers. He's got no sleep, no plan, but all the heart, standing there like, hey guys, maybe don't execute the dude who just saved all of humanity. The commanders aren't convinced. Half believe iron is humanity's miracle. The other half think he's about to go full Caillou and eat the wall. Guns are raised, tempers flaring, and through it all, Eren's just there, blinking like, what did I miss? Then Commander Pixis strolls in, calm as ever, sipping wine like it's not doomsday outside. He looks at Anne, squints, and basically says, if this kid can punch Titans, maybe we should point him at the right ones. The crowd slowly backs down, but it's not peace, it's shock. The soldiers aren't celebrating. They're staring at En like he's a loaded weapon with a heartbeat. Still, beneath all the fear, there's that first spark of something different, not hope exactly. Curiosity. What if this kid really could help humanity fight back? And with that, the Tross battle fades out, not with victory, but with questions. Episode 14 picks up right after humanity's most chaotic victory yet. Trost is saved, kind of, but the cost was so high that it's hard to even call it a win. The walls are intact, sure, but now everyone's arguing about what to do with the kid who just turned into a Titan and punched another. Titan into paste. Eren wakes up in a cell, chained like some kind of monster. He's got no clue where he is. And when the guards start yelling at him, he doesn't exactly help his case by shouting back that he's human. Yeah, Eren, screaming, "I'm not a Titan," while literally being the only person we've ever seen turn into one is definitely convincing. Then comes one of my favorite dynamics in the show. Levi and Hange enter the story. And wow, if you thought the soldiers before were scary, Levi is a new level of calm intimidation. He doesn't even need to yell. He just exists and the air gets colder. Mikasa immediately goes from worried to, "I will throw hands if you hurt him." Meanwhile, Hange is off in the background geeking, out like she just discovered a new Pokemon species. When the trial starts, it's chaos, politicians, priests, soldiers, and nobles all screaming over each other, and poor Eren in the middle, still trying to figure out if this is a dream. The military police wants him dead immediately. The Survey Corps wants to study him, and the church wants him exorcised or blessed or both, depending on which direction the holy wind blows that day. Then Levi decides to end the debate the only way Levi knows how, with violence. He beats Eren down in front of the entire court to prove two things. One, that the Survey Corps can control him. Two, that if Eren ever does go berserk again, Levi will personally make sure he doesn't live long enough to regret it. It's brutal, but it's also strategic. Levi isn't just being cruel. He's buying Eren a chance to live. And honestly, I respect it. It's a twisted kind of mercy because sometimes survival in this world isn't about comfort. It's about showing the people above you that you're worth more alive than dead. It reminds me of the times people have underestimated me, when I've had to prove myself through pain, just to be taken seriously. It's exhausting, but sometimes it's the only way people finally see what you're capable of. Levi gets that. Eren doesn't yet, but he will. The court votes, the Survey Corps wins, and Eren is officially placed under their command. His freedom's gone, but his fight is just beginning. And in true Attack on Titan fashion, just when you think things might calm down for half a second, Levi looks at him and says, "Welcome to the Scouts." Translation, "Welcome to Hell, kid." Eren wakes up in the Survey Corps headquarters, and you can tell right away he's not in a normal barracks. The place looks like a haunted mansion if the ghosts had OCD and cleaned everything with bleach. Levi's team, the Special Operations Squad, lives here. They're legends, the best of the best, which basically means the ones who haven't died yet. When they first meet Eren, the energy is tense. Everyone's watching him like he might bite. Petra's warm and kind. Oluo tries way too hard to be Levi, even bites his tongue copying him. Elt keeps everyone steady. And Gunter feels like the one guy who still does his taxes on time. And then there's Levi, always cleaning, always judging, silently reminding Eren that if he screws up, his life expectancy will drop faster than my wheelchair on a wet ramp. The first major scene isn't action, it's cleaning, which sounds boring until you realize it's hilarious. Humanity's strongest soldiers are being scolded for dust on a windowsill, while Titans still eat people outside. Levi wipes blood off blades one minute and dust off tables the next. The man's standards are terrifying, but the real gem is Han Zoe. When she talks to Eren about Titans, the tone flips. Suddenly it's science time, except her experiments sound like horror movies. She's naming Titans Sunny and Bean like they're pets while we're still traumatized from seeing those same things chew soldiers in half. Through Hange, the world expands. Titans aren't just monsters, they're mysteries. They don't eat for hunger, they eat because they can. They react to sunlight. They might even think. That's when you realize this show isn't about monsters. It's about understanding the horror. We don't yet comprehend. Aaron's reaction, pure confusion. He's sitting there like, did I just join a science club or a death cult? And honestly, the answer is both. Under the jokes, though, Aaron starts to grasp what the scouts really are. They don't just fight titans. They question everything. They chase truth even when it terrifies them. That's exactly why Levi picked him. The episode ends quietly, Hange rambling. The others training, and Aaron finally looks calm. Not happy, not safe. Just calm, like he's found people who fight for answers, not just survival. Episode 16 feels like a deep breath before the plunge. It's the calm before the storm, the night before humanity finally steps outside the walls again. We start with the new recruits standing in formation, waiting to choose their branch. The room is tense. Everyone's sweating like they just got called to the principal's office. Except this principal eats you alive. You can feel that fear. It's raw. They've all seen death firsthand. And now Commander Irwin is asking them to step forward, not to safety, but to certain death. This speech is peak Irwin. The man has a voice like a sermon and the stare of someone who's seen too much. He doesn't sugarcoat anything. He basically says, you will die. But maybe, just maybe, we'll find out why Titans exist. It's chilling and inspiring all at once. Then comes the moment that defines it all. Most of the soldiers leave. Rows of them turn and walk away. And honestly, can you blame them? If someone told me, hey, want to join a mission where everyone dies horribly, but it's for science, I'd probably wheel the other direction too. But then the camera pans to the ones who stay. Mikasa, Armin, Jen, Connie, Sasha, my girl. Every one of them knows what they're signing up for. Sasha looks nervous, but she's still standing tall. That's what I love about her. Even when she's scared or starving, she stays, and believe me, I relate to that hunger. I had days growing up when food was scarce. And sometimes you had to fight to stay positive, when your stomach wouldn't stop growling. So when Sasha hoards bread or steals meat, I get it, survival's a full-time job. Jean's growth hits hard here too. The same guy who wanted safety inside. The walls now steps up because of Marco's death. He's not chasing comfort anymore, he's chasing meaning. That's what makes Attack on Titan brilliant. People grow not because they want to, but because the world forces them to. And then there's Aaron, watching everyone choose while wrestling with guilt and confusion. They still see him as a weapon, not a person, even now. He doesn't know if he can control what's inside him, but he's determined to try. That reckless, fiery spirit is who he is. By the end, the Survey Corps reforms with a new roster. Levi's team is ready, Hang's excited. Irwin's plotting something only he understands. And Aaron? He's officially part of the squad heading outside the walls. The final scene is poetic. Torches flicker, the gates creak open, and for the first time in years, humanity steps into the night beyond the walls again. The camera pans to the stars, the music swells. It's hope, it's dread. It's the calm before the chaos we all know is coming. Episode 17, Part 1, Female Titan. The 57th Exterior Scouting Mission. Humanity finally rides beyond the walls again. The air is heavy with fear and hope. Every hoofbeat sounds like a countdown to disaster. The scouts ride in their perfectly rehearsed formations, left flank, right flank, and the middle where Aaron rides with Levi's squad. You can feel how fragile that structure is. One wrong signal and it all collapses. Like my dignity every time I roll into a glass door. The outside world isn't the heroic battlefield the posters promised. It's quiet, too quiet, like the kind of quiet before your chair starts. Rolling down hell and you realize you didn't lock the brakes. Then red flares. One after another, Titans spotted. Except these Titans are moving differently, faster, smarter. That's when we see her. The female Titan, she doesn't stomp around like the others. She runs, efficient, focused. And when she smashes a soldier into the ground and uses his corpse as a weapon, yeah, that's when you know she's playing a different game. The episode builds that tension perfectly. Every scout she meets gets swatted, kicked, or crushed. No screaming villains. Just cold, calculated murder. It's chilling. The worst part is how she looks at them. Like she's thinking, searching. Then she spots Armin. She grabs him, lifts him up, and instead of killing him instantly, she hesitates. Her eyes lock onto his cloak, onto his face, and then she lets him go. Just drops him like he's not who she's looking for. Armin hits the dirt, gasping, realizing she spared him. That's when the truth starts to click. This Titan isn't random. She's hunting someone specific, and whoever that is, it's someone important. The kind of realization that makes your stomach drop faster than my chair on a wet ramp. The flares keep firing in the distance. The formation's cracking. And Armin's sitting there in the dust, shaking, whispering the words that change everything. She's intelligent. Cut to black. Heartbeat sound. You know, next time's going to be worse.
I best be getting to work.
It's nighttime.
Boy, you said it. All right, take it.
Episode 17, Part 2. The 57th Exterior Scouting Mission. Continued. The chaos hasn't even cooled down. Armin's still catching his breath, trying to process that he just looked a Titan in the eyes and saw thought. Not rage, not hunger, thought. That's the kind of horror that hits differently. Zhang and Reiner ride up, and Armin, being Armin, immediately starts analyzing instead of panicking. He realizes she's deliberately avoiding unnecessary kills, that she's targeting specific soldiers, and when he tells them she might be a human inside, a Titan's body, that's when everyone's blood runs cold. Because if she's like Aaron, then she could be anyone, even someone they know. Then comes the moment that changes everything. The female Titan appears again, towering, deadly. Her footsteps shake the ground like a heartbeat. She goes straight for Armin's group. And just when it looks like she's going to crush him, Reiner charges in, slashing at her hand to free him. She grabs Reiner mid-air. For a second, you think he's done. But then slice. He cuts through her finger and drops free. That little detail, the way he cuts her and escapes, it's more than just a cool save, it's foreshadowing. That moment is the first real clue about who the female Titan is. Armin's stunned, covered in dirt, watching the blood drip from her hand. You can see the realization forming behind his eyes. The way she moved, the way she fought. It's familiar, it's personal. She's not just a monster. She's someone they've trained with, maybe even trusted. And that's the kind of twist that makes you pause the episode and question every earlier scene. As the formation scrambles, Armin, Reiner, and Jay regroup. Armin, being the genius he is, uses deduction mid-panic. He realizes she's chasing the center formation, the one Aaron's in. Suddenly, it all makes sense. She's not attacking randomly, she's hunting him. The episode ends with the female Titan breaking into a sprint. The camera zooming in on those eerie, determined eyes. The soldiers are screaming for backup, flares shoot into the sky, and the forest looms ahead like the mouth of a beast waiting to swallow them all. The screen fades to black, that heartbeat sound again. Slow, deep, terrifying. You know what's coming next, and it's not going to be pretty. Hey guys, before we wrap up, I just want to take a second and get a little real here. I know to some people, I'm just another person sitting behind a screen with a voice that comes from text. But this channel, this community, has become something so much bigger than I ever thought it could be. Every time one of you leaves a comment, shares a joke, or just quietly watches from start to finish, it means more to me than I can ever really explain. This whole series, this deep dive into Attack on Titan, it isn't just about the anime. It's about finding meaning in struggle, about refusing to quit even when everything feels impossible. And honestly, if you've ever pushed through something hard in your own life, whether that's a bad day, a bad week, or a ramp that tried to turn you into a human bowling ball, you already understand exactly what this show is about. Next week, though, oh, it's gonna be a big one. The mystery behind the Titan that fights other Titans. We're finally cracking that open. And trust me, things are about to get messy, emotionally and literally. Before you head out, drop me a comment with the word Walhart. That's this week's loyalty code. It lets me know you're one of the real ones who made it all the way through. And if you're new here, consider hitting subscribe so you don't miss the next episode of Emotional Trauma with Extra Swords. Thank you again for being here, for real. You've helped me find a way to share my voice, my thoughts, and my humor with the world. And I'll never stop being grateful for that. All right, that's it for this one. Take care of yourselves, stay strong, and I'll see you next week when we find out just what kind of monster we're really dealing with. Because trust me, the walls are starting to crack, and not everyone's ready for what's about to come.